Hello, welcome back everyone. It's been quite a long break, but we are back for the grand finals of the Starladder Chinese Open qualifiers. Team Braveheart versus Team Serenity. Team Serenity did just beat out LYG Gaming in a very intense best of 3.
10 seconds.
Team LYG, well, these guys, they actually had 2 C players where they had
5 seconds remaining.
You guys might remember Kang. They did play for Warriors Gaming from, that ESL Genting. But enough about that. We have finally our 2 teams, and my name is Hades, joined by PQMZ. Hello, P.
Hey, dude, how you doing?
All good, all good. We don't really know much about these 2 teams, do we?
No, but from the Braveheart games, they looked really clean.
Radiant's turn to pick.
I know you've said that these guys, they look like they have really good leadership, so hopefully we'll see that in this game as well. I'm interested to see how Team Serenity is going to perform going up against Braveheart, because I've never heard of these guys as well.
Well, from the small amount I saw last game, they like their lone druid.
5 seconds remaining.
And their Earth Spirit player was a baller.
You mean Mian? Okay. I'm not sure if this is the same Mian, but I think Mian is a grill. I'm not even sure. Then
I doubt it.
Dyer's
that was the
turn.
Necrophos.
I'm not sure if it's the same person, but okay. No surprise, instant pickups Necrophos and the Venomancer. Not to mention as well, the Nyx Assassin. Well, this was a priority ban at TI, boasting a really high win rate, but and the Night Stalker comes out. It's almost as if this meta has never changed after, despite TI being quite a while back. But here we are.
We haven't had a real patch, have we? So
No, we haven't. I'm waiting for the patch which nerfs Veno and Necro. Nerf these 2 heroes. Mostly Necro, but yeah.
10 seconds.
The nice thing I think about how
5
Dota is
seconds
balanced is you
remaining.
don't necessarily have to nerf these heroes if you want to do something else
The
and shift the
Dire
meta away
get a
from them.
ban.
Like, there's lots of things you can do, which is probably why the patch is taking so long. Like, everyone can moan about it, but I'd rather it was done properly.
Well, but
Instead of just 50% magic damage on Magic Shroud, and
10
Veno now no longer
seconds.
gets a 75 damage talent. His experience gain is like 10%
5
instead of
seconds
30
remaining.
or whatever it is. You could tweak those numbers and it
Yeah, I
would
guess.
do the job, I guess.
Well, okay, first things first, before all that. Okay, yeah, hello you guys, thank you for tuning in. We understand that, Open Qual is not really big teams, but I'm not sure how someone's watching from Florida with the
Here's
hurricanes.
the Radiant ban.
I hope you're trolling
That's
me.
dedication.
That's dedication. Dedication is
Dyer's
like
ban
literally
now.
plus life. Do you see that picture
Yeah.
of the guy casting Dota from the hospital, or rather watching Dota or playing Dota from the hospital?
I haven't seen that picture, but I've seen other pictures of people in floods playing Dota and stuff. So or watching Dota. More importantly.
Sometimes
10
I feel
seconds.
what could have, have you ever wondered to yourself, like, what could have been
5
if you did
seconds
not play
remaining.
Dota? Or like, we did
Oh
not cast
man, like instead of spending 3 or 4 years of my life trying to play professionally, I could have done so many
Radiant's
things.
turn to pick.
I could have traveled the world, I could have been a bodybuilder, I could have done so many things, but no, I'm here playing and casting Dota. I don't regret it.
Oh my god.
Dyer's turn
So many what ifs.
to
I mean,
pick.
I've acknowledged that probably sometimes I, neglect meals because of Dota, because sometimes MMR is kind of life, but yeah. Alright, Rubik pickup. I like the Rubik pickup. It's good. Nuffield is really good against Veno. These tiny details, it helps you tank up a bit more
10
overall. I think it
seconds.
complements Necrophos enough to the Ghost
5
Shroud
seconds
as well.
remaining.
So I don't know. What else do you think? Do you think it's a pretty good
Radiant's
pick? What
turn
else
to
do you think I'm missing out? here?
Disruptor.
Well, when they were playing it in the previous series, they were mostly around fighting a lot, and Rubik's a great hero for that. If there's 1 or 2 good spells to steal, then he offers a lot. And if it's Nyx and Rubik
10
support duo, though, I don't like it as
seconds.
much as what they were running before, which was the clock.
Dyer's turn to pick. Omni Knight.
Wow. Omni
But that
Knight
is an
with
Omni.
Necrophos. Okay, I'm just gonna say Omni Knight and Necrophos together is basically the new cheese. You know how you used to like Omni Knight and OD Omni Knight Necrophos.
I think
beats
the
that.
OD is still worse.
You do? I feel like
But-
you can't kill Necrophos. You said it
10
takes so long to kill him
seconds.
already with a Holy Defiance. Imagine that on top of the Repel.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, but the nice thing is now Repel got nerfed into the ground, so you can't keep it up for like 16 seconds and have a 4-second downtime. Now it's like you have to use it smart. You can't be an idiot and just sit 2,000 yards away, go in to repel him, and then run away, you know? You have to use it smart now.
That's true. Like Omni Knight is an
he's
actual
also-
high skill hero now.
I don't know if it's high skill, but it's higher. The nice thing this game is like Disruptor's not a good hero at bullying Omni, and if Night Stalker's bottom as a support, then you know, it frees up space. Omni is a hero that, if he is the offlaner, which I would presume, is gonna soak up a lot of space from the supports.
I mean, do you remember there were a couple of, I think, other star ladder matches we casted before TI, and that was when, you know, the Chinese teams were basically fighting over Omni Knight or Abaddon off lane all the time. It was like that Radiance period. The one with
Yeah,
RTK.
yeah.
So, you know, we might see something similar this game, but who gets the Radiance? Omni Knight or Necrophos? We'll have
Radiant's
to see.
turn to bat.
Never. Every day, boy. Every day.
Okay, so Omni Knight going for pure utility then. I wouldn't say no to perhaps like a Lotus Orb this game. I think it'd be pretty useful. And alright, Nature's Prophet comes out, so they want to split the map. You talked about in the previous series how, you know, AM's good counter to the 5-man push, especially with Chinese Dota. You really
10
group up
seconds.
very, very quickly at like what, 15 minutes in, or even earlier than that. So Nature's Prophet
5 seconds
I would say
remaining.
a bit more active compared to Anti-Mage.
Yeah, he's definitely much better hero at getting involved early. And so far you can see that they want the option to take small scale engagements. They don't want to be forced into 5-manning, so they've got Prophet, they've got Disruptor.
The
Night Stalker's
Dire
good
get
hero
a
at fighting
ban.
early and like giving you a lot of vision as the game goes on. So hopefully they get to pick and choose their fights, because that's their strategy right now.
I'm still waiting
Or they
for
just
the
always
trailer.
have more numbers. You know,
That's true.
that's basically how Liquid played it at TI, where Prophet was in
10
every fight
seconds.
from minute 1, and they won the game because of it.
5
I'm
seconds
still waiting for the
remaining.
dream of like the Nature's Prophet safe lane. I feel it offers so much potential of like a really active carry, and he's
It
hard
only
to.
works if like you have a support like Visage or something that soaks for lane when he TPs away.
Ah, okay.
Like Disruptor and Night Stalker, they don't soak the lane. They're the active heroes, you know?
Or maybe even like an Ancient Apparition to that. Like that wouldn't be that
Yeah,
bad.
something like that could work.
So the global.
Yeah, I like AA more as like a roaming hero though. If you
Mhm.
just sit in a lane and buy
Dire's
Midas, and I think
turn
you're
to
playing the hero
pick.
wrong in this patch.
Yeah, I realized
'Cause he
that
has
the
good spells.
Kofi does quite a lot of damage actually, and if you combine it with a stun, I agree with you. Like I tried, I think roaming AA as a 4. Didn't really think it would work out. I thought it was just clowning around with like an orb event kind of thing, but it actually is really strong.
Yeah, the
10
hero's good. He's not just a
seconds.
nice blast.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Combine that with Ice Vortex as well. Like for example, that would synergize really nicely with Venomancer. Imagine the total amount of slow.
Oh yeah, people wouldn't be moving.
So alright, so Team Serenity, they will actually pick up the Omni Knight this time. Braveheart, they were the ones to pick up the Omni Knight. Sorry, I mean,
10
Ursa. What am I saying? Ursa
seconds.
Warrior. They were the ones to pick it up against Noob Young in the previous series. So
5 seconds
alright,
remaining.
this would be good. And yes, Slacks would be happy, Mr. Chris Corona. Yeah, congratulations to him. You know, he just got married. What was it, 2 days ago?
Yesterday, right?
Yesterday. Okay, I'm
Today?
not sure, but
No, I don't know, man. Days are just illusion to me right now. I don't
Time
know what's
zones.
happening.
Time zones, man, time zones. But yeah, Mr. Rue, highlight of that wedding. But
I'm surprised he streamed it. You know, dedication to his fans. Prop to him.
really huge props.
Like that's a very personal moment, you know. I would not stream my wedding even if I had a huge fan base.
Choose your
Wow,
hero.
okay. I know
They
I
like
can-
their CK. This was banned every time
Yep.
in the last series.
In the previous series, yeah, we also talked about how to say, oh, you want a CK, you know, someone who can stand in the front lines. This is that hero. This is the hero which fights. It's not the hero which farms. And that's a good thing, because that means the Omni Knight can afford to be a bit greedier this time. I like the farm distribution coming out from, at least from this team. We're not in the game yet, but you can tell from the heroes alone, like, how they're going to distribute the economy. And Team Serenity as well, like, you know, both these teams, they really want to get active, and I like this a lot. You know, I'm glad we're not going to see that anti-mage or Naga Resident Sleeper kind of game.
No, I don't think Chinese teams are into that anymore, which is good. But there's so many like layers of timings in this game that if each team hits them, it's going to be super close. I would naturally kind of favor the draft with the Prophet because you can make more out of the map in general. But we'll see how much the Knicks can get done, because this hero is like a pretty shitty support at the start, but as the game rolls to like the 10-15 minute mark, a lot changes. And for some reason I'm stuck on your camera, so I'm going to restart Dota.
No problem.
Prepare
Alright,
for
so
battle.
I mean it could be a spectating bug. You might have to restart Steam in total, because I think I've had that bug before. Like when you spectate a game and you just cast the next one, usually there's a bug for that. So you might have to restart Steam.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
maybe
reborn
having
sus.
player perspective on is not a good thing.
Yep. After we do, I do need you to be looking at parts of the game which I may or probably will miss out. After all, you are the one who's been
Finally
quite
came
active.
Alright, I'm good.
prepared.
All good?
Yeah,
Right, so
no problemo. Reborn doesn't suck as much as you think. Well, I agree though. Reborn needs a lot of fixes already.
Oh yeah, but Team
It's only
Serenity
been
also-
out like a year.
Isn't it? It's felt like it's been out way longer.
I mean, it's Dota 2, it's still a beta. You have to
30
give the
seconds to
developers,
battle.
who are a very small indie company, a little time to work on their game, you know? You can't be too harsh with these people.
You gotta give them props. Like when the patch comes out, you never see these kind of balance patches like as big as you would expect from the games. But looking back to game to the drop, I just realized that Team Serenity does not have any reliable lockdown.
They're mostly
Cast off the
like
line.
relying
We
on
have
running at
fought
you and
for
forcing you
battle.
to be defensive, which is something I don't think they're gonna have too much success with in like a straight 5-on-5, just because of the Omni Knight factor. And they do have 1 or 2 defusal heroes, but it's when it comes out and how much pressure they can put naturally.
Alright.
Venom's pretty good at making people run away as well, you know. We saw this lane matchup before, and now the Night Stalker is probably sniping this courier.
Can he get to it in time? I think he can. Yep,
I think
he
he's
will.
got it.
Bish. One more hit. Bish. What?
I know the smoke move speed. That's close.
Oh dear. I thought he could have gone for the hit though. Like maybe if he could, but he would probably have taken too much damage and he probably would have died to the tower. But
Couriers don't get slowed by Orb of Venom
Venom,
either,
yeah.
so GG.
Alright, so we have another Venomancer versus Necrophos mid matchup. Last time we saw this White Shirt really struggled, but this time there's a nice alternative which is much more effective slow. Look at all that. So with the Orb of Venom, one more hit, down we go. And of course White Shirt getting giving away for his blood. But we saw this back in game 1 against Newbie Young. It didn't fall, you know, it didn't really stop him. He came back big and strong.
That was on his team being able to fight though. Like this game, it's very similar. But I think it's much harder to survive in this lane from minute 1 than it is the previous. Because he doesn't have a hero that's gonna sit around this lane so much. Like Nyx can TP and counter gank, but he's not the best at doing it.
Oh, and in this case, I would still, even though you know you say favorite team Serenity's draft, I would still like the Big draft purely because you know, Golden CK. I love CK. I love all the tiny buffs to him. And once again, they get White Shirt. It is exactly the same situation as game 1, although the draft is a bit different. I mean, in the first series, sorry. But okay, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually dies the third time. Not because he's a bad player, but just how much pressure this Night Stalker is putting on the middle lane.
Yeah, and now the Nyx is here, it opens up the...
They have the stun of the Nature's Prophet. Do they have a... won't have the lift. Oh, that was close. But that damage is really high from the CK.
Hard hitting hero, man.
Like, I mean, KO Struck giving a life steal now. That's actually really disgusting. Like, if he gets 2 crits, it's over, man.
It's getting the crits, so you hit at like 1 attack a second, and it's 10% chance rate, no 12. The extra 2%, you know, value. I think CK is a really good hero when you can pick him in a game like this where there isn't like a hard counter, and you've got an Omni, so you don't have to worry about buying BKB on your own hero. You can just go for stat items. Makes your game a lot easier. And you also have the tools to fight. Like, this hero is not something you want to not be able to fight with.
I mean, in that case, I still would favor that you use Omnet to try and keep the Necro alive more because he can be such an annoying hero. CK is really tanky, but I don't think she's the one who needs to kill. But okay. Over the top lane, this Omni is still struggling to find anything. One CS and middle lane again, they do get White Chen. As I said, not surprised that he does die the third time. Like we've really seen this before, they put a lot of emphasis on trying to lock down this Necros.
It's just that the hero is like so weak early, you know, it's like a Zeus. You walk in this lane and if he comes past this cliff, you just kill him. And the only way he survives is if A, he's holding a TP, which early game as a mid laner you don't do that, because if you die you TP to the lane, like experience is extremely valuable. And his Nyx is like
into the
not
Nature's
being
Prophet with the telekinesis, but they have enough damage to right click him. One more hit! Oh, he gets sort of just a sliver of HP. Very small. And now double damage into Mian Mian. Nice Stalker coming in one more time. Oh, but they've seen that. Have they? Not sure, but he's gonna get a couple of hits into this next assassin.
From the tempest of battle.
Man, this is
and this is kind of where you need your Nyx to be. And then if he's not here, it just opens up space on the other side of the map. You know, despite the huge deficit in the mid lane, the CK's farming nicely, but Omni's having a really hard time. As you'd expect against an Ursa, so...
I just feel like sometimes you want to invest into the Over Venom so that at least you can try and harass. Like,
mid lane?
You know, like Raging Potato. And when he plays the Omni Knight, he always maxes out the DJ aura. He actually doesn't really want to repel, just to get maximum lane potential.
How do you do that against an Ursa though? Ursa's gonna win every man fight.
Not sure. I mean, I guess you can.
You have to like... You can do one-on-one against him, but when you've got a support zoning you from level 1, it messes up a lot.
It's very, very difficult, but... Right, Night
And now the supports are going to smoke bottom.
If they can get the kill on the CK, this could be really big, because the Nature's Prophet will pretty much take over this lane. Yep, they're
It's a
going
1k health hero.
They need everybody.
Not the easiest kill, and he doesn't have glimpse for 10 either, so we shall see. The ward's good though, so they're gonna see when Rubik comes over.
No, but here comes Night Stalker, going to mess around with the CK. They have to Vision hunt up the Knight, going from getting down into disruptor. He actually tries to get a lucky crit. Can he get crit? No, he cannot, and actually will die to the Night Stalker. Will find Rubik as well. Do they have a glimpse? Stuck inside the kinetic field. He can break the trees with the trains, and he won't need to glimpse. If you look at another kill, so 2 kills for the Night Stalker. He is extremely active. Dominating streak is 4-0.
Super sick early game for them. This is kind of what they drafted for though.
If they get it, if they get the haste screen, this would be really scary. Middle lane.
Yeah,
like,
they've got a free kill lead.
It's really big considering when he's 6 minutes in. But now CK is gonna get into stealing it, trying to go up. No, he won't go up the stairs. He knows the shrine is there. Doesn't want to take the risk. But he's picking out the Nature's Prophet. He wants to go for the big boy. There's no TP. Does he note that the Nature's Prophet has no TP? Okay, he doesn't want to use it. But now they go back in. Just taking over.
No.
Oh, middle lane. They commit the altar. White Chief's TP back to base.
That feels so bad. Like, you have 3 of your heroes bottom fighting 3 of their heroes, and you get zoned out by 1, and then the Omni's having the same problems with the Ursa top. Like, there's almost too much on their plate this game. Like, their 2 supports are not that good at roaming, so when their lanes go badly like this, their answers are few and far between, and you see just how easy it is for them to bully. Like, Necro's getting dived into a kill. What are the rest of his team doing? They can't do much. Might even find the Nyx.
Well, the glimpse back, they will find the Nyx assassin. There it is, but the Ogre gets one in play onto the Night Stalker, but he should be dying here. One more right click.
And they can push off this as well.
Team Serenity are looking very, very solid. I'm not even going to be kidding PQ. This might be a very quick game at this stage.
It might be, but it comes down to like the first few major 5-on-5s. If those go really badly, then yeah, game over.
Oh, he's not even level 6?
Dire's bottom tower is about to flower.
Kidding me? They can't even kill.
He's a small son, dude.
Are we gonna do the small son thing again?
He isn't the smallest of sons, but he is very small.
Oh, he White Chin has a
Not
deny.
be able to deny.
That's cheeky. That's very cheeky. But they're upping the pace of this game very, very quickly. Like Long GG, he's actually gone for the Blightstone, which could indicate maybe Solar Crest, maybe even the Deso. Both of these items are great because that means they have increases the Roche potential of the Ursa. And yeah, I'm not feeling too good about it.
I think he's just getting it for value. Like 300 gold for this is pretty good for profit, you know.
This is ours.
And then you go into drums, Midas, Orchid, normal build, right? I mean, Medallion's not that bad this game. I could see an argument for it.
I mean, we've seen it a couple of times as well with the Solar Crest as well. You know, just buffing up the Ursa, making tanky, increase the Roshan seed potential, taking out the objective. I can see some of the uses behind it. Like, we've seen this before from off Nature's Prophet, so he could always go back into the Maelstrom. I mean, Deso's just good at just picking up the towers.
Yeah, but then he's super squish. I think Deso is the least likely option. I can definitely see drums or Solar Crust and then keeping the other item as a casual.
Disruptor's getting some good EXP out here. He's got the side block. And he just go back to chilling for a while. No, it's 8-1. Venom's in this jungle very quickly with the level 4 big wards. I like how he jungles so fast with these wards, even agents as well. He basically clears 3 camp by himself. Wait for it to spawn, clears it again, and he levels up super quickly, which is, but it's a good thing that, you know, Ice Rocket did nerf the XP gain and gold gain which you get from jungling.
Yeah, it's almost like he presumes this is gonna happen. It's still good though, like, you need the farm on the map, so being able to utilize it just helps your team out so much. Like, now they have supports in lanes getting their levels, and because of how weak Braveheart's heroes are, they can't contest for supports, so the cores can just farm freely. And if you don't see the cores on the map, then you're too scared to go on the supports. You know, other than the CK, your lineup is not doing anywhere near as well as you would want it to.
Ursa and Venom, they're looking to get very, very active right now. As they invade the enemy jungle, they don't even care about wards, they're just walking in. And I'm pretty sure they know what's happening because there was a ward on the cliff near the rune spot.
And if they don't know what's happening and they're professional players, then yeah, it feels bad.
Map awareness low. But now they know what's going on.
They're just going to assert some dominance. And now they're going to try and get a counter kill top lane, but they're under a ward as well, so it might just be a tower trade. But Braveheart pushed very, very, very slowly.
A radiant using echolocation.
Big ward experience. Not the easiest thing to play. What do you think about Doodle going for a soul ring on Ursa? I've never seen this before.
Radiant's bottom tower has rung its
Soaring's just a good item, man. Like, it helps us sustain in the lane, just buying the ring against Omni, and then you can zone him out a lot easier by spamming the overpower, and he's got lifesteal for the sustain afterwards.
I just want to point out
just
by the DMX, he used the Phantasm to fight the Disruptive trying for a solo kill, but glimpsed back and it's basically wasted.
He's trying to get a tower, but like they're just desperate at this point. Because I mean, they can try and defend, but like a level 6 Nyx doesn't do much damage. A level 6 Rubik without, I mean, I guess Gale is
keeping Omni Knight and the CK there.
Dire's top tower is
and
about
they do
to
get
take
bottom
the
2, so
plunge.
2 towers going very easily to Team Serenity, and they're just breaking away the map. 6,000 gold advantage, and they intend to keep this growing again.
Yeah, they own the map.
For me.
So wherever they go, they decide what happens. And looks like Roche is the pit. Into the pit for Roche. English is hard. This is one chance that like Braveheart might be able to fight. I think Serenity realizing just, you know, chill a bit. They don't need to take Roche. Like, they're winning this game.
You can just start.
Roche is uncertain thing, you know. It's element of risk.
What do you think though? Like, if they just decide to take all these towers, even perhaps try for high ground? Because if you look at Braveheart's lineup, one thing we haven't mentioned yet is that they do not have D push at all.
No, they definitely need to fight. They can't just sit on their high ground and spam waves out. That's not their game plan.
Oh, they are going for Roshan. Look at the Nyx Assassin. Do they have detection though? That's
they have no sentries on any hero.
I think they know.
Yeah, okay.
Down. It's actually in range.
It's decent.
Silence up. Don't even need it. Just swipe down the bow, block, squish him nicely, please.
Star Wars. But I don't think that's gonna let them have Roche.
What's this? Dire or the
It is nothing they can do. They have to get a Roshan. TK is trying to kill and tower top east. Vietnam, but that Phantasm, he took that. They still could not contest this Roshan. Now they want to contest it. They get the Aegis, now they want to Gale into Zombie Knight engines. Now they go for the down with Zombie Knight before he gets the off. And they will find the Rubik edge of that as well. The Sprout and down he goes. Looks like they're trying to forget the lip and slow someone down.
Glimpse.
Sorry, glimpse, like you called it, and down goes Legend for the man. He's gonna take a wild down. No shot up to the TP out. Any to stop him? No, they do not. And he's gonna get away. Onyx Assassin. Careful, careful, careful. You're playing fire.
Well, at least the Necro lives, but now the snowball really starts. Like, their laning stage was good, they got the few towers, but this is what really lets them assert their dominance, you know?
Don't look at the weak side, but it's only support. And this is where Team Serenity are not really good for like wide gen forward, very, very aggressively. Noodle was there. Angry Bear is letting dominance by banging the ground, but that's all he's gonna do. And he'll throw this back up. Wait out the Phantasm.
Tower defended. I mean, it's better than losing the tower, right? But now they know there's no Phantasm for 2 minutes, so if they want to shove a lane when the Night Stalker comes off, they can do that pretty easily. I mean, having poison over is nice, but they kind of only need Static Storm as their quote-unquote big ultimate to win fights at the moment.
Go top lane, Nature's Prophet, popping the drums. I'm sure he knows what's going on. That ward, I think it's given info. He knows that the Nyx Assassin is not popping. Sprout, they'll find one, but it's Bloody Rift. They will find the Nature's Prophet trying to make the Mystic TP out. This raid with the Unshadow is keeping him alive. Oh my god, and Mien steps up the night. They will find the CK, trying to undertoggle his ass through this, but not. So down goes DMX, and down goes Nyx Assassin. Jebaited, boys.
Oh man, whoever wants to do the math on that, you know, 50%. Crippling Fear, missed twice out of like 4 hits, GG. Feels bad, man.
Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. And actually find a glimpse, will they get a kill? Yes they will. It will be the poor sad little Rubik. And
the smallest of fun. He only just has boots and a wand, you know? Feels bad. This is not a good Rubik game.
Life of a support. Now they just take a tier 2 tower. Phantasm still down. He has no items besides like an arm and a tread. He's gonna go for maybe an Echo Save if he can. This is so big. Vlad's Vlad in face with the Aegis. 16 minutes in. I don't even know why all these towers falling. But now in the bottom lane, they're behind White and just nowhere to go. Even at the first round, they're waiting for them to pump the guns back. Static Storm, he's gonna try to look at this TP, but he's gonna die anyways. The extra damage.
And they're just getting picked apart on like every lane. This is what Disruptor does to you when you lose map control. You just play so scared.
Oh, you know what's going on? GNX, he wants to go up the stairs, he wants to find Reality Rift. No, the night vision. He will not get the pull.
Darkness is so good, man. And they're doing this with like Venno having a Midas, so he's gonna continue like being more and more impactful in the fights now. He's got his force. They don't even have to go down middle and take this tower. They can just play the game where they build up their next set of items. They play for Roshan about the 10-minute mark. You know, maybe Ursa gets a DKB at that point, maybe he gets a defusal.
They find a Rubik. Marching in, looking for the stun, will land onto the Night Stalker from the drop. And we just go back for the tier 2 tower instead. And he just got the TP in, and there we go, call it. And he gets the +4 treants, he's going to take the towers way quicker. There's very little what Draymond can do. Oh, going for the Gale, but the repel is going to be used into the Wyvern. They're going to take a tier 2 tower for absolutely. And they want to go ahead. There you go. I'm going to take that much damage. Just keep this eye for the Aegis. I don't know about that. The Sprout's going to be used to allow it to come in now. Okay, there goes the Gale. Nice Phantasm being used right now. He does get the extra proc illusion. Flips back. Stolen, finding Brutal. Static Storm. Captain G3 heroes. He never has to walk out. I think that Chaos not actually calling that Sprout. He die here. The Sprout the trap. not good. The Glimpse back again. Glimpse is back everywhere. HJ Max is going to go down at long last. No armor toggle, but this game has no buyback for 30 seconds. And this will actually be the key for them to get some siege damage with tier 3 towers.
Do they want to though? Like, do they want to take that risk? I think the answer is no. Like tier 3 at this stage of the game with the shrines and how the armor on the tower works is just, it's not worth your time, right? And they need their next run of items and probably the next Aegis.
Doodle's going for Diffusal Blade. I mean, there are no more towers to take. You can try to get the top lane to push back out a bit more first. They have a great economy right now. 16 to 13,000 net worth advantage. As you can see right here.
I mean, look at the course. They're all neck and neck on farm. Their supports are doing pretty well. Solar Crest is up on Night Stalker. Disruptor has money for Midas very soon.
I mean, Night Stalker has the combined net worth of basically the Omni Knight, Nyx, and the Rubik. Or almost that. Now actually they're gonna find the Rubik as well. Swipe, 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 and okay.
Consider yourself
And the safety glimpse to get him out of there. What a nice guy.
GG easy. 17 to 1. This is where
Yeah,
you
who
question...
has that death? Who are we reporting? The Night Stalker. Did we report him for feeding, you know? I think he did a lot this game. He helped his team.
I mean, we can't
He
report
made a
him.
lot of space.
He's the one who's probably like gonna buy his teammates dinner for like, okay, I'm sorry guys, I lost it. I gave for 1 kill. I'm buying you guys dinner. Could be drinks. In the Chinese culture, they have to go to, you know, karaoke. They really like karaoke a lot. You ready to do it?
Yeah, okay, here's a really sad thing, right? Like, with Darkness, if the Ursa didn't walk right here and he just walked right here, this ward is irrelevant. But they know because the Ursa kind of misstepped a bit.
And they're on the hunt.
might still
We've got
get a
TP out. Oh, but they know that the next assassin vended that up. I'm pretty sure yep, he saw that
Just missed.
just outside the dust. This is it's times like this you wish you had a gem, so that you could take care of these observer wards around. Just make sure you make them so scared they're too afraid to leave the base.
It's a little early for gem, I think. Like, it is still a lot of gold at this stage of the game, and the map isn't that open, and the team that they're playing against doesn't really abuse the map that much.
Oh,
so
Nyx
they can get away
Assassin.
with not having a gem.
Caught by the disruptor. He has a glimpse if he needs to use it. Not gonna use the repel. Alright, so Nyx Assassin getting us back. Name is Gale. Spell flying everywhere, and Nyx Assassin should be dying here, but hold on, where is our Ursa going? Now decided they're gonna kill off that poor little Nyx Assassin instead.
for the wings of the night.
And besides, like, at the moment, all the main spots are getting dewarded, so the gem's basically just for the Nyx, who has no gold anyway.
Stains gold.
Hey, kill's a kill, you know, sometimes you just take these easy, much easier kills. Free gold, or not.
Oh, whatever you did to your mic, you're super loud.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I turned you down in Discord. You don't have to adjust anything if it's fine for Twitch.
Okay, I'm starting to think that there could be some wiring issues. I'm gonna tweet it out a bit later on, but alright, there it goes. Night Stalker getting caught out. The Reaper side, down he goes, trying to be a bit cheeky in the end, gives away kill.
And look what Rubik has. Now he's a monster damage dealer. He just needs that 60 damage talent to keep the passive, and he's gonna carry his team.
Dude, you're overly optimistic on that play, but okay, hold on. Ursa gonna pop the enrage. She's gonna be okay. And it looks like
Look
actually
at
will
these right
sacrifice Venom. Oh, that's a nice.
Oh, never mind.
That's a nice ult. Static Storm onto the Necrophos with the Orchid as well. He might actually die. He will. And that's gonna be 2 for 1 trade. CK against the world, trying to kill Doodle. He actually will find the second kill. Try to click the Nature's Prophet down as well. Guardian Angel, this is where the comeback happens apparently, because Nature's Prophet's gonna get this spanked down. And yeah, right. Him against everyone else, and the CK. Look at the CK, Bloody Rift. Bang, nowhere to run, nowhere to go, into grave, full team wipe, and 2 for 5 trade, losing only the Necro and the Rubik.
No sorceries avail.
Pretty good fight. That's the first time they've overextended, and they've been able to get punished. And that's a lot of gold for the CK. He's got 2k in his pocket now.
And he's going to complete the Sanjin Yasha on the way up.
And Necro nearly has his Radiance as well. He's like 1,000 away. If they can buy like 3 more minutes, which might be possible now.
Invisibility.
Because Roche is in and around the area, so you normally don't play too aggressive at this point, even if you're the team that's ahead. Because if you happen to lose a fight like you just did, and then you also lose Roche, like your win condition suddenly goes 15-20 minutes later, which you don't want to do when you're stomping a game this hard. You know, that one little misplay is really good for Braveheart to have a chance, but it by no means swings the game. It gives them the option to like have more for the Roche fight, but you can't put too much weight behind it.
Okay, so let's.
Because like they'll learn from that fight as well, so they won't do that again, or they shouldn't do that again. You know.
Oh, hold
it's
on.
like when you...
Next assassin. He's found the Nature's Prophet with Vendetta kills. Very easy, quick work. You cannot stay in that jungle anymore by yourself. So they know that. Nice knock attack. Comes back. Stick Storm. Alright, next Necrophos. You're in some serious trouble. The Repel's gonna keep him alive, but hey, there goes a nice vision. Nova stolen by the Rubik. Reaper side. Not gonna do that much damage actually, but okay. That's big, scary, angry bear. DNX already getting 2 kills. Doodle finding himself another, which will be Omni Knight. And he's just going to clean up getting 2-2 and 3-3 trade. And both the carries are getting great kills everywhere. So he's contemplating going back in.
That's the fight Braveheart will take every day. The CK is getting pretty fat. Now has nearly 4k gold, so buy his Reaver if he would like. They're sacrificing the Necro in these fights, but I think it's something they're happy with, because CK has like no counter this game. If he gets to the point where he can maybe get lucky with his illusion and then just blow off 1 or 2 heroes at the start of the fight, it doesn't matter how weak the rest of your team is, because they all have pretty strong spells. Like, items are gonna make them better, but it's for spells that matter.
I have to point out that the CK is not top of the net worth. He's going for heart. And when he becomes that level of tanky, Team Serenity
How do you kill him?
Yeah, how do you kill him? Like, Poison Nova can only do so much. It's not like Venom went for the Aghanim Veil build. He's going for right click this game, which I feel is much needed. Ursa as well is going to need like an Abyssal Blade. They need to just lock him down and bring down that annoying CK. Or Necros just needs to build tanky items.
Yeah, that's why they have like a Rubik and an Omni to stop you doing that. So they also have, is it 2 full staffs? Yeah, it's still just 2. No, sorry, it's 3. Never mind, Omni finished his. So, Roche goes down. I think it's correct they don't contest. You know, there's no Phantasm, there's no big items yet. You're going to have to play against an Aegis, and Venno took the keys as well.
I mean,
but
this could be the key, right? Isn't this the key moment for Team Serenity to actually like take this next fight? Like, especially with breaking high ground. They need to kill the CK. Otherwise, there's just no way of pushing ever.
Yeah, they want nighttime and they want Venno to have BKB before they go. They might wait on Ursa as well. He can sell his Soul Ring and he's nearly there, so that will help a lot. They can time their push where it's nighttime, they have 2 BKBs, they have Aegis, they have Cheese. I can see them ending the game.
You can see them ending the game, but can you see them overcoming this cancer from the Omni Knight and CK?
Yeah, because they just don't care with BKB for the most part. I mean, don't get me wrong, CK is going to be a huge problem, but if you can kill the rest of his team, and you can like Static Storm the CK himself, it's doable, you know? Like, he is the main threat. If you can kill the Necro before you Reaper Scythes, or you can kill the Omni before he gets his ult off, it makes your fight a lot easier. I'm not saying like they're definitely going to end the game, because it is tricky. Like, their lineup is not good at straight up 5-on-5s. They want chaotic fights where they're coming from multiple angles, which you can't really do when you're pushing a base, you know? They want to restrict the map. They don't just want to go down a lane like this and end the game.
Unless, of course, Night Stalker decides to do some cheeky shenanigans, like hunt up the Knight in from the side, get a good silence onto the Omni Knight, making sure they can't cast his spells. He could try and make that kind of sacrificial play. I know it's a bit unorthodox, but I'm just suggesting something like that. You know, it could be that crazy play which might catch Braveheart off guard, especially, you know, with all that chaos. Because so far, like, Disruptor's been using like the Static Storm to basically capture the Necrophos all the time. They do not.
Yeah, and they're gonna find Rubik here with the smoke. Gonna pop on Night Stalker soon.
Maybe he needs to get a bit closer.
To the left.
To the left. Channel your inner Beyonce.
To the left. To the left. Thank you. Someone else has the reference.
We caught it, dude. I caught it, dude. I knew that was what you were hitting for, dude. I got you. I got you.
Perfect.
Why would you take the
wasted
double
smoke.
damage?
He's a carry, dude. Look at his damage. He hits for 300. This Ursa doesn't need to do more damage. The Night Stalker needs to pound. Look at his damage, dude.
Ursa could have taken it, and that's what they could have taken to blow up the CK. You know, like you only need to get the silence off. That's all you need. But okay, Diddle in
Ursa's
some
baiting.
serious trouble. Jib baited. They know what's going on. Getting stunned up. But he has an Aegis. Not the smartest idea. Actually gonna pop the Phantasm for this. Look at that right click damage. And now the rest of Team Serenity on the way back in. And now it's like Storm catching 3 heroes, but everyone's gonna walk out. Oh, that's a beautiful Carapace actually catching 2 heroes. No, all he needs is a nice Reaper's Eye. Won't even get the chance to use it. Doodle's dead. And Mienman following into the grave as well. Reaper's Eye, Guardian here, keeping everyone alive. Biapia popping the Beekeeper, but the Beekeeper doesn't seem like it's going to do anything at all. And Team Serenity actually just going to back out. Alright, so Biapia does get 1 kill, but 3 for 1 trade and Aegis would make it 4 for 1 but from technicality. And they find an Aegis Prophet. That's going to be 5 for 1. Comeback is real, PQ. Comeback is real.
Yeah, that was a throw and a half. Like, they were trying to do this kind of janky smoke where they don't really have any vision of where they're smoking to, and you kind of know Braveheart are going to play as 5, right? This is Chinese Dota. You don't expect them to split the map and try and play efficiently like European teams and stuff. You expect them to go as 5 literally everywhere because they are losing, and the only way they win this game is if you play into that 5-man. And CK gets to pop his ulti, kill Ursa before he does any damage to anyone else, then he kills him again. And the rest of his team is not scared anymore, and they can help him. And oh man, this game looks really scary now, because as I said in the draft, CK doesn't really have a counter. And they also did this when like BKB wasn't up on Ursa, Veno wasn't there. Like, there was so many things about that play that just made it look bad.
You can actually see the exact moments on the map whenever they lost the fight. White Chun in some serious trouble, maybe not. Team's on the way. Purification going to keep his teammate alive. Omnian actually going to be the sacrificial lamb here. Dying here. Yep, no, but here comes Angry CK. He doesn't even care about your Albert. He's going to be like, alright, come at me. I'm going to stun you up. And down goes Ursa. Poisonous Gale, going to slow him down a tad bit, but now they just turn your sights to him. It's like trying to bait a T-Rex basically. And he's just turning around and it's like, alright, you want some of me? Come get some. And down goes the Disruptor as well. 4 heroes down. Mian will have to walk back with his tail between his legs. 4 heroes down, and suddenly Braveheart, once again, another blip in the gold graph. And you can see every time it's just constantly going down in favor of Braveheart again.
At this point, their lead is not a lead, you know? They might have 6,000 gold showing in their favor, but how do they use it? Like, every time they're trying to take a fight now, CK just runs at them and they're like, oh crap, how do we deal with this hero? He has 4.5k health, he has an Omni sat behind him, he just took the 12 to all stats talent as well, so he's even more tanky and does more damage. And now he's just going to start hitting buildings, and your game becomes like incredibly hard. Like, how do you split this team up when they can just go as 5 and they can maybe not end the game, but they can take your towers, and for you to split them up, you need like some damage threat on the towers, right? So Prophet has to do that, and Veno has to do that.
We'll see if they can do that.
How safe do you feel pushing a lane? Like right now, Prophet doesn't feel safe pushing the lane because he doesn't see the Nick, so he's throwing.
Hold glimpse. Hold on. They're gonna try and find a Nick assassin, but they could get baited in. CK is all ready for action, but alright. I feel so bad for Team Serenity. They had a 16,000 gold lead. That's already been cut by 75%.
I mean, look at the heroes. That's why they had the lead. Like, this is. Imagine a Russian team playing their draft, right? This is what happens. They run at them. They win the early game. They barely drop any kills. They play pretty well, and then it comes to team fighting and ending the game, and they never can do it. Ever. Like, that's why Russian teams are like minus VP, because VP are really on a different level to most of them. Like, they can't end the games, and they draft heroes like this, and they get at this stage of the game and they don't know what to do. And Braveheart had this awful early game. Like, you said it could be an early GG, I agree. If a few more things went wrong, game could have been over. But now they just have this 5-man force where Nyx can kind of force the other team to not split, and then they just go win the game.
I also credit this partially though, like, I know I just credit this partially to Chinese culture. Like they're really, because of how disciplined they play and how they are really strong at turtling. Like people think, you know, being able to turtle and being passive is you know, just being cowardly. But in this case, I feel like Braveheart, they really played their cards right, and now where they are. And like you said, Team Serenity, also the other point which you brought up, saying like regarding the Russian team's part, I feel that's what separates some of the lower tier Chinese teams to the tier 1 Chinese team. It's about being able to, you know, adapt your plan according to the situation.
Yeah, and you have to understand like how strong you are, how strong the enemy are, and how you win the game.
So tier 2 in some trouble. I hear a glimpse. Oh.
Yeah, the defensive glimpse when they were smoking on a flank. This is not this is not the play. Like running into them is so hard. Like, Prophet's doing the right thing.
He's trying to rat. We'll see if he can get the tier 3.
Yeah, he doesn't see them right now, so he's not going to be able to stay too much longer.
He's going to use those treants, maybe actually get the treants, the whole army to back off. He doesn't want to feed that gold away to the Necrophos of all people. And now he has an Aghanim Scepter as well. And this is the Wai Chen who was like, what, 0-4 in lane. This is crazy stuff. His KDA, what, he's 5, 7, and 9. And this is just typical Wai Chen things. It almost feels like he knows that he's going to die that many times in the lane, and his team is playing around that.
Yeah, I mean, he could have died less, but at the same time, you can see how little it matters when the other team make 1 or 2 big mistakes, and it just brings them all back into the game. And most of it's down to this CK. Like he's just so scary right now that all the focus has to go on like a different hero, and then CK just wreaks havoc.
This is a great smoke movement, though. They actually might be able to catch all these heroes out. Carapace actually catching the Venomancer, and they'll right-click him down 3 times! And he's just dead to the Phantasm Illusions!
That's an Arcane Rune as well, so he's gonna have Phantasm again pretty soon. And if you want to fight a Reality Rifting CK like every 2 or 3 seconds, yeah, good luck with that. Good luck. He got lucky with his proc as well, so 4 illusions.
Brave on the way in, and they're gonna take the tier 2. And how the tables have turned. Even the Great Wall of China won't be able to deal with all these illusions.
They're gonna need more than a wall. They're gonna need the nukes behind it. They're gonna need some artillery.
Where's Miss Kim? We need the nukes.
No, dude, we need real nukes, you know?
Ursa, he's primed to go back in. He pops the Enrage. He was thinking about going, but no Manta Style to juke the Orchid, so... Alright, laying out the treants as well, feeding, and now he's jumping in, popping the BKB, trying to go for the CK, who does get helped up with the Static Storm. Won't catch anyone except the poor little Necrophos, but now Guardian Angel is going to help him DMX, just polishes off the Disruptor. Gonna find a few more heroes as well. Reality Rift still there, and he's gonna find that poor Nature's Prophet. Who cares about the BKB? Just whacks him down with the big club. Now with the backline, going to try and go for White Churn, Diffuser, chipping things up, but Purification keeping him alive. And actually looks like the Ursa is going to pay for his mistake. Reaper Scythe down to the grave he goes, no buyback for 100 seconds. And I think that Braveheart have done it. They've done the comeback. Yeah. Alright, Venno against World and Braveheart. What a game. 36 minutes in full team white. And we've just won a barracks. Team Braveheart are showing that, you know, they're just demonstrating their leadership, which you spoke about at the beginning of the game.
Yep, they won that game through calls, and when the other team made a mistake, they capitalized. Their draft put them in a position where they were pretty weak early, the other team just couldn't round it out. Some of that's down to draft, some of that's down to play, for sure. But
Alright, I
reckon next game, we're going to see a much different draft from Serenity, because if they want to let like this Necro and CK through, then they have to draft heroes that can deal with them in a better way than just trying to end the game at like 15-20 minutes after a snowballing a laning phase, because that doesn't work anymore.
But then again, you know, this is why we start to see why, at least from the previous series alone, we can tell now why people instant ban the CK against Team Braveheart. We are starting to see like, alright, this hero is actually really viable. Like, I can't even wait to try and test this hero in my pubs. I'm not sure there's like a draft thing, but this hero is really strong.
Yeah, I love CK. He needs those first 10-15 minutes so he can get like his armlet and his echo, and then if you don't have AoE control like Shakers, Sand Kings, and things, it's very easy for him to blow 1 or 2 heroes up, and then fight just goes in your favor.
Indeed. So, okay, guys, this was only game 1 of the grand finals, and Team Braveheart, they're basically one more game away, you know, from making it out of the open qualifiers. Team Serenity, they need to reset, rethink their plan. You know, like PQ said, they're probably gonna come up with a different draft to play against this. Whether it was the draft or not, let us know what you think in chat. But otherwise, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with game 2 shortly. See you guys soon.